Okay, we are live. Good morning, everybody. This is Robert Phoenix, and this is the last show of the week. I'll be back on Monday, and we'll start all over again next week. Tomorrow, day off, and then Sunday night, going to take Sunday night off, and we'll keep it going. We got some post Christmas infotainment coming at you, and wishing everybody a fantastic holiday time, holiday season. A little bit late today, but I was up late answering emails. T. Jordan, Merry Christmas. Lisa Marie, Merry Christmas. And soon a happy birthday to you. Kestrel, good morning and Merry Christmas to you. Ms. Fifthwell, Danica Rose, good morning. The Cat Patrol is in the house today. We've got Jasper and Rosie looking very intently at the Cardinals. We got a Cardinal right here. The Cardinals have finally found the sunflower seeds that I put on the window ledge for their entertainment. You see that? This is Cardinal TV for the cats right there. Let me check it out. There's this one cardinal that comes by. He's like the king cardinal. He's big and fat. You can tell he's like the alpha cardinal. Let me see if I can get you the alpha cardinal. This is going to be. This is almost like Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom right here. Let's see, where is he? Is he still there? No, he's left. He's probably in the tree now. It's got to be kind of odd for him. Well, the thing is that the screens here, it's kind of hard to see in. So I'm not. Hey. Oh, man. Rosie has a weak stomach. Okay. What do we got here? Let's see. Leon Luis, Merry Christmas to you. Brenda Zarafin, hello, Brenda. I got an email somewhere that you sent me, so I got to go find that. Carrie Rose is here. The mayor's in the house. What's going on, Maurice? John G. Jennifer Rubin. Hello, Jennifer. MK. Christine Mose. The Wild Man. The apocalypse is upon us. The apocalypse is where all is revealed. Scrubbies. Hi, Tamara. Good to see you. Natasha's here. 10 Dragon. Jennifer Fitzgerald. The lovely, intelligent Jonas. Thor by the door. Ricky Ricardo. What's going on, Ricky? David Jasek. Hi, David. Hope you're doing well in your peregrinations. Ian Barber's here. Tori Ammerheim. Hello, Tori. Let's see. Double V's in the house. Hello, Victoria. Tanya Lynn. There's Ashanti. Good morning, Ashanti. Paula Dillon. Merry Christmas. 10 Dragon. A cardinal sign. I like the Cardinals. That Cardinals, he's lived a good life. You can tell. There's Mike. What's going on, Mike? Good to see you. CC Jones. Morning. Double V. Too much excitement for poor Rosie. I know. Sharon DeCaro. Hello, Sharon. Good morning. Let's see. Natalie Remington. Ursula Hauser from Portlandia. So, Ursula, I sent you another email with a contact for you in the PDX area. Hope you got that. Aquarius Rising. Oh, there he is. If I could give like a persona to this cardinal, he'd be like the Luciano Pavarotti of Cardinals. He's kind of impressive. He's very impressive. Let's see if I can get him here. Because he's waiting around. Can you, he's hiding out on that bush. See him? There he is. He's right there. See him? Look at him, man. He's got a, I mean, aerodynamically, he's straining. I think he is straining at the physics of aerodynamics here. That's a big dude. Now he's going to come over here to the windowsill and get some of these sunflower seeds. That's going to happen. He's just trying to figure it out. There he is. Yeah, you're on TV. Look, then you get the side shot of him. There's one big ass cardinal. Anyway. The White House meeting, Patrick Byrne is doing interviews about Trump-owned staff. Yeah, well, there's a lot of. Look, it's all being illustrated for us right here and now. We're seeing the night of the living dead in action, is what it is. Oh, he's okay. So he went down. He's back on the. He's back on the. Oh, there he is. There's Jasper watching him. So here you go. Cardinal TV. Jasper intently watching his little cardinal friend. There. Oh, you got one. You got one seed. Hey, Johnny. Oh, man, Johnny, I got to play that song. Can I play that song, Johnny? Johnny Cruz made a really good tune. Really, really good tune. Let's see. I got to find it. Johnny, let me know if I can play it. It's a great, really great song. Let me see. He's got tons of them here. On your box. Hold on. What is this? Oh man, I gotta send. Okay, I gotta figure this out. This is a really good. I gotta play Johnny's song. It's really good. Hello, Michael Pafford, Irene Bry. We got the Bry kids. The Bry kids are in house. That is a big cardinal, right? He is big. That cardinal has lived a pretty good life. Yeah. He's lived a pretty. You know that cardinal has had a few little cardinals. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. The White House. Yeah, we'll talk about the White House. Hello, Judy. Yes, let's say hi to Judy. Absolutely. Hi, Judy. Good morning, Judy. Thank you, Jennifer, for the reminder. Did I download this thing? Hold on. Yes, I'm going to download it. Come on now. Get on here. Let's see what happens with that. Ian Barber's here, a fifth Russian scientist who worked on Covivax, committed suicide. Yes, stabbed himself several times. Threw himself through a plate glass window from the 14th floor. That is a very Russian way to go. That is a really Russian way. You know what that's like? That's like the Rasputin model. Okay, so he stabbed himself several times and threw himself through a plate glass window. That's the Rasputin technique for suicide. You got to have at least 2 or 3 different ways to take off. Hello, Allison. Good to see you. Let's see. Will America have night of long nights? It is very close. It is very close. Hey, there she is, the wench with the wrench. Ani, our city mayor is being retaliated against due to lack of compliance on the lockdown. Go figure. China's not happy. If you don't play by China's rules, they're not happy. Let me see if I can find this on my phone. It's always interesting finding files on the phone. All right, man. Hey, John, can you do me a favor? Can you send that track to? I'll put it in here in the chat. John, can you send that track to that email address so I can download it right onto this computer? Morning, Mark. Morning, Natalie. Hey, look who's here. It's Lynn. The Romanovs committed suicide with the same fastidiousness. To me, the Trumps kind of embody, in some ways, the spirit of the Romanovs. Don't you think? A little bit. There's a little Romanov in the Trumps. And also because we're in the Bolshevik cycle. Joan W's here. Good morning. That Cardinal, he's totally swole, right? That's the biggest Cardinal I've ever seen. Nurse Tara 04. Hello, Nurse Tara 04. Give her a nice little greeting. Give her a nice warm Chatlandia welcome. Let's see. Who else do we have? Cardinals are supposed to represent loved ones visiting. Yes, well, cardinals are a very interesting little animal totem. I've done a little reading on those cardinals. And clearly, one of the benefits of moving into this house is the variety of the bird life. It's become much more eclectic. Let's see, who else do we have here? Jen P. Love is here, but incognito. Pam Jerome from Michigan. Mimi. Hello, Mimi. Trump is German lineage. I don't think we know everything about these people. I don't think we know everything about these people. This goes back to the Hunter Biden, Bo Biden stuff, and it must be Johnny Cruz morning, because he sent me a text, which I had thought about. It's one of those thoughts that, ricochets around your brain and goes away after a while, unless you grab it. Oh, Leslie West. I'm having a Mandela effect. Wasn't Leslie West already dead? So Johnny sent me this text about the Hunter Biden not being Joe Biden's kid. And when Joe says, my son didn't do that, my son didn't do anything, he's being true. He's being absolutely true, because he's not his son. Think about that. And think about that from like a future planning legal perspective, that it's not his kid. And therefore he can essentially lie and be outside the bounds of, being truthful. And I thought that was it crossed my mind too. Absolutely. Let's see. That was a great music conversation from yesterday. People were sending me emails after the fact. Let's see. Leslie West, Mountain, one name American band, basically a one hit wonder. A one hit wonder. It was a great hit. Nobody will deny that Mississippi Queen is not a rock classic. But other than that, not a lot of nuggets were pulled out of that mountain. Let's see, who else do we have? Hey, Paula, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Let's see, Cardinals are uniqueness. You're welcome. That cardinal sat in the tree and then flew to the windowsill where Jasper was sitting. Yeah, Jasper. It's Cardinal TV. Let's see, what else do we have here? It's going to be a triple Johnny Cruz day. He's got a Leslie West story. Didn't Leslie West live in the Santa Cruz Mountains? All right, Johnny sent me a song. I got to download it. Give me a second. Where do you hear this tune? It's really good. It's really fucking good. You guys are talented. This might be one of the most talented chat rooms out there. I got to tell you, you guys are talent to burn. All right. Where is it? John, I've not gotten your email yet. Let's see, we got do a reload. No. Haven't gotten it. Leslie West as a guitar player is great. I'm not saying Leslie West wasn't a great guitar player. I'm just saying that as a band, Mountain at Mississippi Queen, and maybe I'm ignorant of the entire Mountain catalog. Okay, I did own Nantucket Sleigh Ride as a kid. I did buy that record. I listened to it, and then I played Mississippi Queen about 20 times, air guitared it, and then back to the used record store went. Tinfoil Tiaras in House. Beverly Wise is here. Via text. I can't do anything with the text, John. I know you sent it to me via text. Hold on. Let me see what we got here. All right. Let me see what we do here. Let me go to the more part. Hold on. Copy. All right. Let me do this. Maybe I'll send it to myself. Hang in there, people. When you hear this, you'll it's worth the wait. This is some professional shit that John put together here. It's not shit. It's really good. It's a good song, but it's very professional. Reminds me a little bit of the Dandy Warhols. The Puker is back. Oh, yeah. Let's do this. It's not coming through in that email for whatever reason. But I'm gonna attach this. Let me see. Let me go back here. I apologize. Yeah, it is not in the. Where are we? Yeah, it is not in the inbox, Johnny. Gotta say, it's not there. Ain't there. I'm gonna try and do this again. Hold on. Give me 1 second. All right. I figured it out. Hold on. All right, let's see what I got. Hey, look, oh, there it is. Came through, John. Beautiful. Good. All right. All right, I got it all queued up. I'll play this for you guys later. Really good tune. Really good tune. Let's see what else we have. Okay. I probably missed some people. Hello, Ryan. Good morning to you. Let's see. No. And Leslie West was a great guitar player. Nobody is disputing that. Not disputable. It's just the output of the band. Craig Corcoran. Excuse me. Renee is here. She says cardinals are timid, but once you start feeling the birds, squirrels feeding the squirrels are here. They're here. I watch them. They got a network. They go from the trees to the wires to the trees across the street. They're total They're total acrobats. They're urban acrobats. What are you doing? Or suburban acrobats? It's kind of a suburb here. Rosie, yeah, she's here. PB says, I hear about Biden in the news in a different way now. I also hear about Trump vetoing the tax bill and the mention of how outrageous the stimulus package is. Sometimes it seems things are changing. Well, I think the AI likes to keep you guessing. That's what I think. Although there does seem to be some slightly interesting things on the Trump front. Come on, you got to get out of the way. You got to get out of the way. You should go. You should go back to Cardinal TV. All right. Let's see. Squirrels they're pretty incredible. Amanda Pomander, why do squirrels swim on their back? To keep their nuts dry. Good morning, Jazz Freak. There's a cool video where this guy made this maze for squirrels in his yard. They had to reach the major. See, this is the really that's entertaining shit, right? Speaking of entertaining shit, there she is. I know. You're down. You're down. Where are you going to find that on regular TV? Regular TV will not give you squirrel maze acrobatics. You're Japanese. Well, welcome. Everybody's welcome here. I think Trump brought up the 2K to throw a wrench. We'll try to sort through some of that stuff today. I don't want today's show to be too heavy, although there is going to be some heavy. Obviously, the little minx. That's right. Little minx. She looks like a giant cat. She's not a giant cat. She's actually kind of small. Jasper is the giant cat. Although Jasper is not fat. He's just thick. Jasper would be the equivalent of like, I don't know. Who is like a thick linebacker in pro football? Really thick linebacker. Jasper, kind of like the Mike Singletary of cats. Singletary was about 5'11", maybe 5'10". I think he's probably about 5'10". And Singletary was about 230. I pranked Mike Singletary one time. So this was back in the day when I was really very into this message board with the 49ers. I think I still have this recording somewhere. And they were terrible. They were terrible. And Mike Singletary was a terrible coach. He was good at speeches. And I think he turned Vernon Davis's career around. But he was a terrible coach. So the 49ers had an away game in London. They were playing in London, and I forget which team they were playing against. But I found a search on I did a search on where the team was staying, and I found their hotel. And I called the hotel, and I asked to speak to Mike Singletary. And the hotel put me through to his room, I swear to God. So I pretended that I was Mike Nolan, who was the former coach. And he went along with it for a while. And he said, Mike, is that you? I'm like, yeah, Mike, it's me. It's me. It's the phone line, long distance. So I was pranking him. But he was so nice. Mike Singletary was so nice that I had to kind of abandon my my prank tactic, kind of in the middle of the prank, because he was so nice, and that I wound up wishing him well and having a good game. But it was almost like God intervened and said, he's a nice man. Don't prank him hard. Don't break them hard. I saw a black panther in my yard in Florida. It was rusting in the sunlight. I like that. That's a really, really good image. Wow. Wow. Rusting in the sunlight. Somebody's got some literary skills. Let's see. She is not giant. She's a skinny little thing. Oh, hey, Chrissy. Hello. I think they played Denver. Now, there's a Niner fan who knows who they were playing in London at that time. The other thing we did is I couldn't stand Mike Nolan as a coach. He was terrible. Pisces coach, by the way. Not good. Not good. And but he was like the worst kind of Pisces. I'm sorry. He was a Pisces that was deluded. He was cruel. Mike Nolan was a cruel man. He threw Alex Smith under the bus and ran him over again and again and again. Mike Nolan questioned Alex Smith's toughness. And here we are, what, about 12 years later, and Alex Smith has come back from one of the most gruesome knee injuries in the history of pro football to play quarterback again. Mike Nolan was a little wrong about Alex Smith. He still should have drafted Aaron Rodgers. So one time I was so angry with Mike Nolan that I got all these people together on this message board, and we hired a plane to fly over. You can't do this now. This was back in the days where things were a little more loosey-goosey. So we hired a plane to fly over the stadium pre-game with a banner that said, "Fire Nolan." We actually had the banner made and everything. And then it wound up on, what was it? The Fox pre-game show. They actually talked about it. And they said, fans in San Francisco hired a plane to fly around the stadium with the banner that said, "Fire Mike Nolan. What do you guys think?" And of course, they're all going to be supportive of their coach. No, we shouldn't do that. He's doing an okay job. It's too early, blah, blah, blah. We're singing a different tune about 2 years after that. Hello, Misty Miner. I'm coming down with something, feeling crummy today. Well, you know the drill. Vitamin D, vitamin K, zinc. Right there, right? Those are your three friends. Selenium, liposomal C. And I would say if you don't have whatchamacallit. No, I'm having a moment. If you don't have the diffuser that you breathe, right? If you don't have one of those things, get one. Get one. And colloidal silver in the lungs. Boom. Dead fish handshake. Is that Mike Nolan? Let's see what else we have here. I'm sure. Hi, Jelena. Good to see you. Colloidal silver, oregano, fish oils. Yes, the Dr. Joan is in the house. She'll take care of you. I think they played it. That is a Niner fan. Yeah, I have. I played it for people on the message board. I couldn't make it. I couldn't make it live. I didn't want to get in trouble. Plus, Mike Singletary was a really nice guy. He was a nice guy. All right, let's do a little invocation here, and then we'll jump into kind of the harder stuff. There's some hard stuff to talk about today, but there's good stuff too. There's always good stuff. All right, here we go. Dear blessed and holy Mother, Father, God of the great central sun, within the universal light, which is the light of Yeshua, Sananda, Emmanuel, we ask the only highest and best information, wisdom, intelligence, and truth come through this channel for everyone at this particular time. And in so doing, we affirm and decree the spirit of joy and abundance and celebration, truth, faith, life beyond hope, determination, courage, commitment, always flexibility, discernment, empathy, articulation, brotherhood, sisterhood, empathy, compassion, humor, and love. We ask any karmic residue be cleansed, purified, clarified, and removed from this stream at this time. And away we go. So Trump was passing out Christmas presents yesterday. He was playing Santa Claus. He was giving out pardons. Well, it started a couple days ago where he pardoned, I think, 3 Blackwater mercenaries. Now, I'm not sure if these guys are in prison. I don't know what their status was. You guys are, we got a group brain here, so I'm sure somebody in chat can fill in the details. But these guys were 3 contractors that were working for Blackwater, and they were killing people in the Middle East. They were killing people, I believe, in Iraq or Afghanistan. Of course, that's where the hotspots are. So, and they got in trouble for killing citizens. They were not theoretical enemy combatants in a place where we should never have been in the first place, by the way. So, of course, Blackwater, now known as, I think it's G or ZXE, that is the group, the paramilitary group that is led by Erik Prince, who happens to be the son-in-law of Betsy DeVos, who happens to be the Secretary of Education, and the wife of Mr. DeVos, who started Amway. So this is the Amway fortune. So essentially, Trump pardoned 3 of Erik Prince's employees or former employees, whoever they are. So he was doing Betsy DeVos and Erik Prince a solid. Now, a lot of people think Erik Prince has gone in and raided these adrenochrome dens and tunnels. I don't know. I don't necessarily believe that. And even if he did, his heinous, mercenary for hire outfit that was contracted by Blackwater, right? Not Blackwater. Dick Cheney and what's his name? Blackwater was his operation. Bush, Carlyle Group. They were contracted by the Carlyle Group to go into Iraq and to go into Afghanistan and to operate in ways that the United States military could not operate. In essence, Blackwater, now known as Z, had death squads. They sent death squads into those places. And I remember when Erik Prince was doing all that, and Blackwater was pretty contemptible. But then they tried to open, and I know Christine Mose remembers this. Christine, you remember this. Blackwater tried to set up shop in East San Diego, and they voted them out. They did not want Blackwater having a training facility in East San Diego. And coincidentally or not coincidentally, I think about 6 months later, they had one of the worst fires in East San Diego history. Hey, there's Emily, Technobrat. Just going on, Technobrat. Good to see you. Prince is a Catholic on a crusade in my backyard. You know what I'm talking about, right, Christine? You know exactly what I'm talking about. They voted him out, and then about 6 months later, one of the worst fires in San Diego history. Right there. I'm not saying that they're linked, but they sure felt linked to me. Like that was payback. Like, F you. You don't want us here. See you. Right? So those guys got pardoned. You know who else got pardoned? Let's just start right at the top of the list. Charles Kushner got pardoned. Jared's dad got pardoned. Now, Jared's dad was out of, I think he was out of jail. He spent 2 years in jail. He went to one of these cushy Fed pens where he's not going to be threatened by anybody serious. So he went to one of those places. And the reason why he went there is because there was, he was doing some bad things with money. Imagine that. He was doing some bad things. By the way, there was, I think it was a Netflix or Amazon Prime series called Red Oaks. I think it's Red Oaks, and it's lightly modeled, I believe, on the Kushner family because it takes place in this mostly Jewish, wealthy area of New Jersey, and Paul Reiser plays the father. And Paul Reiser is like this money guy who ultimately winds up going to jail. But the series is seen through the eyes of his son, who is like a tennis pro at the local tennis club. I think it's lightly modeled on the Kushners. I don't know if Jared played tennis or not. Anyway, Charles Kushner was going to have his brother-in-law was going to testify against him because of his dirty tricks and his money shit. So in order to keep his brother-in-law from testifying, what he did was he hired a hooker, got his brother-in-law to bang this hooker. He videotaped it, and then he sent the videotape to his sister and said, if you don't tell him to not testify, I'm going to release this video. What do you think she did? She told him to testify. And that added to his sentence. So he was now dealing with extortion charges, intimidating witnesses. Chris Christie prosecuted him, by the way. Chris Christie helped Donald Trump set up his cabinet, and he probably put enough people inside that cabinet to make Trump's life a bit difficult for him. That's what I think. And of course, Jared Kushner is Trump's son-in-law, who's been there from day one, and nobody voted for Jared fucking Kushner. Okay, nobody voted for Damien. He was not on the ballot. I didn't notice his name on the ballot in 2020. He certainly wasn't on the ballot in 2016. Right. So Charles Kushner, who was already he was already out of jail, been out of jail for 14 years. He got pardoned, which means that none of that ever existed. And then you have to ask yourself, why would Donald Trump let his daughter marry into that family? Well, I think the answer is pretty obvious. But apparently, Jared demonstrated his loyalty to his father over that time, and that he wrote him constantly, visited him weekly, maintained the structure and the order of the family, mentored his younger brother, who, by the way, turned out to be a raging progressive libtard. Good job, Jared. So apparently he passed the loyalty and the devotion test. That's probably what. Look how his father was in jail, and his father was a criminal, and he stood by his father. That's good enough for me. I guess there's some logic there. But he hasn't had a good track record as a landlord either, Jared Kushner. I've looked at some of his properties. Major issues in some of his properties. He's got some. He had I think he's got some properties in Maryland and Pennsylvania, and a lot of complaints about those properties. So Charles got a pardon. Roger Stone got pardoned. His sentence was commuted, but now he got the full pardon. So Roger Stone's fine. The libertarian libertine is back in action. His name has been redeemed or reclaimed. According to Roger Stone, he has found Jesus Christ, so he's okay. He's all right. Paul Manafort got a pardon. Now, Manafort, and by the way, I'm not a huge Roger Stone fan. I'm sure if I was running a campaign, he'd be invaluable. But or if I was wanting to be elected, he'd be invaluable. If I ever run for mayor, I'll ask Roger Stone. If I ever run for mayor of Fredericksburg, I'll ask Roger Stone if he'll be my campaign manager. One of the things that Emily and I were going to talk about, but we didn't talk about on this last Matrix Mash, because we spent 2 hours talking, just going off on our tangents. But I told her, look who's back, the linebacker. Okay, now this is a big cat. Now this is a big fucking cat right here. Look at this. That's a big cat. Look at that. There he is. See that? You just see his big head, but this is a big cat. He's heavy, solid, but he's not fat. You know why? I don't feed him any grain food. Jasper's paleo. It's full on paleo. Anyway, I told Emily this story, and apparently what was the show? Was it Dora the Explorer? Apparently, Emily and her mother had the idea for Dora the Explorer, which we didn't get into, but we should next time. And apparently, somehow, some way, they stole the idea of Dora Explorer from Emily's mother, who came up with the idea for Dora the Explorer. So my story, which I never told Emily or on her show, was that when I was living in San Diego, I was having these ideas for reality shows because they were big, and I was pitching some reality shows. Like one of my reality shows was the Enlightenment Project, and it was basically like 5 people in various kinds of stages of their life, either transition, trauma, breakdown, seekers, whatever, right? And they would go through like a series of either experiments or rituals or meetings with, either self-help people or spiritual teachers, with the whole idea to get them to break through. And there was no prize involved. It was more of like a documentary to see if you could take 5 people and put them through a rigorous and intense process, which would include psychedelics, by the way, to get them to break through and have, quote unquote, enlightenment. Right. So that was one of them. Another one was kind of a road. It was like an Amazing Race kind of show, but the idea was you would have no money. You literally would have to get from one point of the country to the other point of the country with no money. You'd have to figure it out. And whoever got to the end would get some sort of a prize. I forget what it was. But that was one of them. But the one that got stolen from me was the 2004 election, because that's when I was like coming up with these ideas. And I had this idea for a show called The People's Candidate. And the idea was that you would have a group of like 6 people or 8 people, however many, and they were interested in running for president. So what would happen is they would have weekly exposure, right? So it'd be a built-in campaign, and they would have to like state their mission and whatever, right? And there were certain things that they would have to do along the way in order to become the people's candidate. And I had stuff like I had this one thing called the deep throat moment, where all of a sudden, in a dark part of the stage, you'd see a shadowy figure kind of light up in a trench coat and a hat in a phone booth. And that would be the deep throat moment. And that would be when one of the candidates would have something from their past revealed. And that would be when people would know that the deep throat moment was coming. It was like, uh-oh, right? So they would have to give speeches. They'd have to respond to certain things. They'd have to go out in public, kind of like a version of The Apprentice, but with the idea that you would actually, get on the ticket and then run for president. And then the prize at the end was $1 million, and you would get a campaign manager. And I thought Dick Morris would be the guy. And then every week, what would happen is you'd have the public like vote somebody off. And so whoever was left over would be the people's candidate. That was my idea. So I went and I pitched it to this lawyer in LA. And we seem to have a pretty good rapport. And I paid her money. And she said, "Oh, that's a really good idea." Apparently, she was friends with this. She knew Diane DePass, who was, I think, a pretty well-known American producer, right? So I'll show you what happened. So I pitched her this idea, and I never heard back from her. And I remember calling her up, finally getting a hold of her. And she was like, "Well, sorry, no traction. You spent your money. That's how the game is played." So then I find this show that shows up on Showtime called American Candidate. It's the same idea. Week 1, hometown support. Week 2, deliver a speech on the war and terror. Week 3, press conference on jobs and the economy in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Here you have your contestants. We have 10 people, right? There they go. Richard Mack. Is that the sheriff? Oh, look at that. He was on that show. He was on the American Candidate. How about that? Joyce Riley, remember her? She was the one that came down on the Gulf War stuff. Is that Dick Kephardt's daughter? Anyway, this, maybe it just had to do with simultaneity. I'd like to think that maybe it was just simultaneity, but it was very odd that it came up with this idea, the People's Candidate. And then, to my surprise, I see the American Candidate, basically same idea for the show. Needed to sign her. Look, I was green, man. I was green. What can I say? Hold on a second. I go to the voice. We'll have to find out what the story was with Emily's Dora the Explorer. That's it. I was green. What can I say? It was a good idea. Trying to sell it. Somebody. I mean, maybe it's just simultaneity. Maybe it's just one of those ideas that was in the air, but it's very close to my idea. Extremely close. Let's put it that way. I met a soulless TV whore. I was actually in TV production in junior college. I was quite good at it, and I got out of it because of that very same situation that I experienced at a tender young age of 19, 20. So Paul Manafort, he got a pardon. I actually don't feel too bad about Paul Manafort's pardon. Of all the pardons, I think that's probably, I mean, he got ruined financially by having to spend all the money to defend himself. He actually did some jail time. And they got him on stuff that his wife did. It wasn't even really him. There was wife stuff involved with Manafort. But they were trying to crack Manafort so he would talk about Trump and turn on Trump, and he never did it. He didn't do it. They pardoned him, whatever. He's another longtime political insider elite. Not somebody I care a whole lot about, but I think he fell on the sword and was rewarded for his loyalty. Duncan Hunter, I believe a congressman from San Diego, and another Congressman named Collins got pardoned. So, Merry Christmas to all you people who got pardoned. Julian Assange has not been pardoned. I don't think he will be. I don't care about Edward Snowden. And Assange, he stuck. Wouldn't say he stuck his neck out, but I don't think there is the same kind of, number one, turnout or the same kind of awareness around certain things without the WikiLeaks dump in October of 2016. It was pretty important, actually. But there's no pardon for Assange yet. There's still time. Also, I think Leonard Peltier should be pardoned. I think he should be pardoned. I think he was done wrong. And there are some Proud Boys who got entrapped and were in some form of self-defense in New York City, and they're in prison, and I think they should be pardoned, actually. But maybe they're just not important enough for Trump. Let's see. What do we got here? They psychically pick up on his ideas. He did predict years ago that people would end up getting things from stores without shopping in the store. My husband does something, but it's spooky. Oh, so this is about your husband. I believe that happens with people. I know it does for people. We live in a very permeable membrane of reality. So apparently, Pence, everything comes down to Pence, and I don't know if we can trust Pence on that front. He's got to run this thing on January 6th. I wouldn't trust Pence at all. Let's see. Let me just see this. This just popped into my screen. Let's see what this is about. The citizen journalists do such a better job of covering the news than these so-called journalists who have taken out huge sums of student loan money, which have probably been repaid by certain intelligence agencies and the networks so that they can basically report on what they're told to report on. Check this out. Fauci took vaccination on his left arm, but during interview, he forgot which one. So he's rubbing his right arm. No, it hurts a little bit, but it'll go away. And I'm really looking forward to the powerful effects of this vaccine that will allow me to go anywhere I want and continue to lie to you on a daily basis. Look at this. He gets it here. He's rubbing here. Oh, my God. Thank God for Reddit. You're not going to find this on CNN. I'm expecting a headline from CBS later saying, why Fauci forgot which arm he was jabbed and why it's a good thing. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. And you wonder why people don't trust the news. You wonder why. That is so funny. That is, by the way, Birx is out of commission. You know why you don't trust Pence? Because he hired Birx. He hired Fauci. That was his coronavirus team. And apparently Pence was in on the HIV stuff with Fauci way back in the day. Not trustworthy. Not a trustworthy man. So he's got apparently a very important role to be playing. He's also friends with Paul Ryan. They're all in the swamp. They're all freaking swamp creatures. All of it. What do we have here? Let me check this out. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Check this out now. Let me get out of here. Hold on. Let me do this. Okay, I got to get to this site. Oh. Now, keep in mind that these medical professionals are on the front lines. They're risking their lives every single day. These are the real heroes. They're risking their lives every single day to keep us alive and, more importantly, keep us safe. And here is a wonderful testament to the work that they're doing and why we need to support them and be proud of them.
Big, big booty, what you got a big booty. Big, big booty, what you got a big booty. 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 Big booty, what you got a big booty.
So there you go. There's Clown World for you. Right there. Our first responders, they're kind of like the USO and the first responders rolled into one. They will save you and they will entertain you. That's sick. It's really sick. But that's totally sick. But there's a big pandemic going on. Pence clone is doing Trump's bidding. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Could be. He is a Gemini. Maybe Geminis are more susceptible to being cloned. If you're a Gemini, you should really think about whether you're really you. I would take a good hard look in the mirror and ask yourself that question. Am I me? Dancing nurses, yes. Those hospitals are so full of COVID. Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. They think they're having fun and getting over on us. Sorry, the other one is here. Obviously breaking down. They're obviously breaking down. Well, you know what's good though is that the strip clubs are open. So on their off time, they can probably go to the strip club and work out any of their breakdown tensions. You are me at least half the time. Well, there's a Gemini. There is a Gemini. Ryan has answered the call. Let's see what else we have here. We got the wrong elbow shot. We got the dancing nurses. What else? There's something else kind of interesting. Oh, how about this? From the very good and at times controversial, but always truthful website, winterwatch.net. We have the latest around a very interesting development in the stimulus bill. So this is fresh news, hot off the wire. Gavi will get $4 billion. Look at that. The so-called stimulus boondoggle includes $4 billion for Gavi, the Bill Gates-controlled vaccine consortium that's at the leading edge of pharmaceutical skullduggery. Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, was launched in 2000 at the World Economic Forum annual meeting in Davos, with initial pledge of $750 million from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So there you go. There you go. They're getting taken care of. It's a lot of money. $4 billion. That'll buy a lot of influence, wouldn't it? That's in there. Does it surprise you? Not at all. Nurse's humor tends toward the body, as far as back as I can remember. Maybe the surrealism has pushed them over the edge. Maybe. Could be. I guess. Whatever. It's a weird pop culture phenomena. It's a weird pop culture phenomenon that I'm not that interested in. Trudeau was conceived via glory hole, as are all Canadian politicians. I think isn't Castro his daddy? That's what Henry Macau keeps saying. He calls him Justine Castro. I think that's probably true, because Margaret Trudeau used to go to Cuba on a semi-regular basis. And Castro was known for having multiple lovers. Just ask the Cubans, I'll tell you. Waffle House CEO came with a great article about, Waffle House. Go support the Waffle House. I remember the first time I went to a Waffle House. They had a sign on the wall. It said fresh cherry Coke. And I thought, what the fuck does that mean, fresh cherry Coke? It means that the corn syrup, the cherry corn syrup that they added, the cherry flavored corn syrup that they added to the corn syrup flavored Coke and the carbonated water was fresh, that they just opened those tanks that day. I'll never forget that. I was fascinated by the Waffle House, because the waitresses would not take the orders on a piece of paper. They would remember them and they'd call them out, and they had their own little code and everything. It was like, oh, this is cool. This is America. I'm really experiencing America right here at the Waffle House. This is something else. And I did go to the Waffle House frequently for their eggs and their hash browns. Very good hash browns at the Waffle House. I think he's a Castro kid. He's a Castro kid. Okay. What else? What else do we have here? So this is a hospital waiting room in Ontario, where supposedly everything is completely overrun and they're understaffed and they're having such a brutal time that they have to roll out next level lockdowns. There we go. So this is the Credit Valley Hospital in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, this past Sunday. You know you are in a brutal pandemic when there are at least 4 people on their cell phones in their plexiglass cages. I work in the biggest hospital system in Chicago. We have several locations throughout the city and suburbs. We were never overrun. Even spoke to one of the executives, and he was upset the way the media was protesting COVID. Biggest scam in human history. I think we could agree on that, actually. These are the Christmas gifts that I'm bringing you today, which is essentially show you that your reality is the gift that keeps on giving, or the version of the reality that they're providing for you is the gift that keeps on giving. So we got the pardons; those are happening, but no Assange pardon, no Proud Boy pardon. The stimulus bill has not gone through. The passion play of the stimulus bill, with the Democrats requesting to the Republicans or whoever requesting to cut the pork, the Democrats are blocking it. Let's see. So that drama's going on. All these programs are open. They haven't closed. Oh, here we go. I like this guy. Is this the guy from? This is Orchard Park. How long ago was this? This is the guy from Buffalo. I'm not sure how this is an older thread, but apparently the guy in Buffalo who ripped up the there it is. Yeah, here we go. This is a victory for the people. We have to have our victories. We have to celebrate them. Remember, this was the place in Buffalo where they got on that sheriff, that pudgy sheriff with the English accent. They kicked him out. Judge says athletes unleashed in Orchard Park allowed to open at 100% capacity. The lawyer for Athletes Unleashed in Orchard Park says a judge has ruled the gym is allowed to reopen at a 100% capacity after it was initially fined $15,000. Lawyer Paul Cambria, you want to hire Paul Cambria. If you're in the state of New York, you want this guy in speed dial. Tells 7 Eyewitness News that a judge found the fine and the closure to be arbitrary and capricious. A little bit of justice here at the end of the year. In November, a video made its way around social media showing a confrontation between business owners and Erie County authorities at Athletes Unleashed. We saw that video. It was great. A few days later, the Erie County Health Department fined Robbie De Niro. I like that. Robbie De Niro. Bobby Money. The owner of Athletes Unleashed following that confrontation. Later on that month, the gym filed a lawsuit against New York Governor Andrew Cuomo and New York State, alleging that the gym had been severely impacted by the pandemic and was forced to cease its operations as required by governmental order. This following a racist email that surfaced from De Niro, resulting in the gym. Why did they put that in? Losing its CrossFit affiliation. Oh boy. Is there like Emily would know this. There's a CrossFit sort of board. You have to be certified for CrossFit. And they have to put that in. His racist email. Well, what did that racist email say? It's probably not racist. It was just probably interpreted as being racist. So it's like, okay, you won, but fuck you. You're a racist. So there. So therefore, the judge must be racist as well. Good for you, Bobby Money. Score one for the people. Trump vetoed the NDAA. So wasn't there the language in the NDAA that if he vetoed it, that he would give up the power to initiate the Insurrection Act? I thought that was in the NDAA. If that's true, then what does that mean? I'm sorry, waking up now is like taking a 3-year-old to learn to walk on the nearest freeway. Good luck with that. Well, sometimes there are some very precocious 3-year-olds. They're, every now and then you get a few 3-year-olds that are tremendously precocious. However, even the most precocious 3-year-old, gymnastically wise, on the freeway would not be probably a good thing. I'm just saying. I wouldn't agree to it. So when my son was really young, I used to take him to like the kinder gym or whatever it was. And so all the parents would bring their kids, and all their kids would be involved in the group. He would not be involved with the group. What he would be doing is he would be on the equipment, climbing around the equipment and doing his own thing, which I was fine with. And since it was Berkeley, so were they. So it was really interesting watching him. And then one time there was a little girl that was doing the same thing. I was like, oh, well, he's not alone. Like he was testing himself on all this equipment. He would do this all the time. He really tested himself on things. He was really interesting to watch. Really interesting to watch. And he was such a clown that at the end they would bring out the parachute. They'd have the parachute game. And he timed it one time so that when they had the parachute up, he came running in from his little solo time and dove into the center of the parachute. It was a classic moment. It was a kind of like a John Belushi moment. It was really good. He was a little precocious in that way. And I remember one time I was being the stay-at-home dad, and he did this thing where I was making the bed. He was on the bed jumping around. And he basically fell off the bed head first. I'm like, while I'm watching him, oh my God. And I look over and there was a pillow on the side of the bed. He literally did like a stuntman fall on this pillow. He was about maybe, I don't know, less than 2. I was like, what happened there? Like, was that like just an act of God and mercy that he didn't crack his head open? Or did he actually know the pillow was there and kind of did a flop? It was a very interesting thing to witness. So, but I would not have taken him onto the Freeway 3. That would not have happened. Although he did learn how to ride a bike very quickly. Took him 2 pushes. He was riding a bike. So by the time he was 4 and 5, he was doing like bike stunts. He would like stand on his seat. He'd ride his bike, he'd stand on his seat, and he would like put his leg back, and he'd be, riding. We'd ride around this school, and he would do stuff like that at 4. He was pretty advanced for that time. But I'm bragging now. I'm bragging about him. The thing that really blew my mind was what he had one of those little Razor scooters, and my parents lived in El Dorado County. And so they lived in a kind of a hilly neighborhood. And he had a helmet on. I didn't let him do it without a helmet. He would get to the top of this hill. And he would come racing down this hill with the Razor scooter. And then the hill kind of bowled up because it would be, so he'd eventually kind of, the scooter would stop on its own because it kind of bowled upwards. And he would just come ripping past us, and he would smile as he would come ripping past us. So around 4 years, the kid he had no fear, absolutely no fear. But I still wouldn't take him on a freeway. All right, let's play John's song. We got to hear John's song, and then I'm going to play you a very funny video, and then I'm going to say good day and wish you all a very Merry Christmas. All right, so let me find John's song here. Where are we? Okay. So this is Johnny Cruz, aka Mr. Cruz, and the track is Witchcraft. Listen to this tune. It is really good. Really, really good. Really, really good. All right. Here it is. Check this out. I wish I had some visuals, but just kick back, listen to this, turn it up. The song is really good. That's not it. Hold on. Where are we? That was my WikiLeaks files. Hold on. Sorry, John. All right. This, where are we? Brenda messaged me. Okay, Brenda. I should get back with you. All right, here it is. No, that's not it. It's the other exclusive audio. Hold on. Okay. There it is. Here we go. Okay, here we go. This is Witchcraft, Mr. Cruz, Johnny. Turn it up.
Wish I could stay. I know how you feel. Let's walk away from red and blue pills. The cure is worse than the disease. New round of numbers from the World Bank of CDC. Witchcraft, knobs, and anarchy. Found out what that means to me. No, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Witchcraft, knobs, and anarchy. We gotta kill them all with kindness. Let God sort them all with science. Non-violence against yourself. A mask won't help. What's in your mind? A dark despair. Peaceful protest, red pandemic, global reset, laser fire. Wish I could speak. Think and feel, broad shadow banner cross, uneven battlefield. Just saw a guy blow up his own feet, traded his rights and blazing lights, a adrenochrome enemy. Witchcraft, offset, anarchy. Found out what that means to me. No, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Witchcraft, knobs, and anarchy. We gotta kill them all with kindness. Let God sort them all with science. Non-violence against yourself. The mask won't help.
The mask won't help.
What's in our mind? A dark despair across the great divide.
All right. Oh my God, that was so good. That was so good. John, you killed it. Totally killed it. Let's give it up for Johnny Cruz. How good was that? Mr. Cruz. That was fantastic. That is fantastic. We got to get that out, man. By the way, Jasper is ready to pounce on Fatty Cardinal. Must have been the tune. Look at him now. Jasper's serious. He is serious. He's ready to move on it. Here comes Rosie, the reinforcement, the backup. Johnny, that was great. How can we make that thing go viral? You got to get that out. That is so good. That is so, so good. You should make it available for people. Right? We got to kill them all with kindness. What a great, great tune. Great tune. All right. I think it's being distorted through the headphones. Thanks, guys. We had a video with a guy whose feet were on fire. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, we got to get that out, man. That's a really great tune. And I know you have a lot more. The mask won't help. I know. Really good, right? I had to put on my rock and roll glasses. my 70s rock and roll glasses. The Fat Pope Cardinal's back. All right. I'm going to play one more thing. Brenda sent this to me this morning. Post that link if you can. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to post that link. I'm going to post that link right now. If that's okay, John, can I do it? Can I do that? Can I put the link here in the chat? If I can, let me know. I'll do it. Okay, here we go. Got permission. There it is. Grab that, listen to it, pass it around. Really great tune. So I'm going to leave you guys with, this Cardinal's like Santa Claus. Santa Claus big, kind of fat. I was Santa Claus when you were in a parade. But let's show you really where Santa's at. I'm going to show you where Santa's at these days. Santa is, let's just put it this way. Santa's over it. Santa is over it. Oh, we had another bird here. Santa's over it. He's not appreciated. He's dealing with too many, really way too many restrictions on him being able to ply his Santa craft. And this is what happens. This is what happens when Santa hits the wall.
Shitty year for 2020. Well, pay attention. I'm not fucking coming. I'm going to stay home and drink with the old lady until we get vaccinated. You'd think I would be at the front of the vaccination line. I'm 300 years old. I'm fat. I'm a binge drinker. And I eat nothing but sweets. But no. So fuck it. I'm not coming. You think you had a tough year? I had to shut down the workshop when 7 of my little bastardly elves got tested positive. Little fuckers all live together and party like rock stars. What do you expect? And I've got these animal rights bastards up my ass about the reindeer, for fuck's sakes. Oh, Jesus. On top of that, I have to quarantine in every fucking country I stop in. What the fuck's with that? Do they not know who I am? I'm Santa Claus, for fuck's sakes. I'm kind of a big deal. So fuck the rules. Go buy your shit for your kids on Amazon. I'm not coming. Fucking bullshit. You're on your own. Well,
that is hilarious. That is hilarious, right? The media is dead. We got citizen journalists figuring out that Fauci is rubbing the wrong shoulder. Comedy's dead. We got Santas. We got drunk, angry, comedic Santas, funnier than just about any comedian out there. We got Johnny Cruz killing it, making real music, because we know the record industry is dead. These are all signs that are quite hopeful, by the way. And they all point towards a true liberation of the creative spirit inside each and every one of us. Even in the midst of dark days and dark times, people rise to the occasion and they deliver the goods. Remember that. AI can't do that. AI will never be able to do that, ever. I'll leave you with one other final thought, and this has to do with the fourth industrial revolution, the Great Reset, and Klaus Schwab. I want to leave you with the idea that Davos, Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, the fourth industrial revolutionists, the technocrats who have your future planned out for you without so-called democracy, which has been deemed expendable. I want you to consider something, just a little something. I want you to consider the fact that perhaps the reality that they are trying to impose upon you and I and people that are blissfully unaware of their potential reality, that the program that they're running, the one that they are so convinced is going to work without fail, without a hitch. I want you to consider just for a moment that somebody and or something has programmed them, and that they are unaware of the programming that has been essentially given to them, and they believe that their program will succeed without fail. But perhaps the program that has actually been given to them was not designed to do that at all. But in actuality, it was designed to do the exact opposite. But they are so convinced that their program is the right and the correct program to change all things that they can't see it, that they can't even see a glitch in their own matrix. Think about that for a moment. I think there's some truth to it. All right. You guys are great. So now I come to you with orange arms, no ballots to hide. Believe what I say. So here I am with orange arms. That's it. That's it for today. We'll be back next week on Monday. I wish you all a very, 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 very Merry Christmas, or however you're going to spend the next few days with whatever spirit you decide to celebrate it in. You're one of the best chat rooms on the internet. You're more than a chat room. You know what you are? You are an operative expression of consciousness. You have your own unique group soul, and I'm proud to be a part of it. I'll see you guys on Monday. Merry, Merry. Use your head in order to discern what's real, your heart to stay open what's possible. I'm Robert Phoenix. And from Jasper and Rosie and Mrs. Phoenix, actually Mrs. Morris, Merry Christmas.